might be just that we're ancient humans trying to live modern lives. And ancient humans trying to live modern lives are a bit like, I think, fish who've somehow got used to living on dry land. And we don't know why our fins are always achy and our scales are always so dry. And we're a little bit worried there might be something wrong with us. And then we get glimpses of hydration. We get glimpses of getting back into the water again. And we realize we didn't even know what we were allowed to miss. We didn't even know what we were tolerating until we find ourselves back in the water again. Um, so maybe some of the whole is that. Maybe some of the whole is generational wounding. Maybe some of the whole is living in a culture that doesn't really have a spiritual, much of a spiritual dimension, and so we find ourselves imagining that all we are is these physical beings that get to have a few decades on the planet and then fundamentally having to let go of everything that we love, including our very lives. And that's inherently distressing. That's quite a big hole that we would try to fill. And then we get things like that famous t-shirt, like who dies with the most toys wins. You know, we respond to that mortality question in a few different ways. And often it's okay, yeah, well, maybe if I can make the most money, or if I can be the most famous, or if I can get the most people to love me and think I'm a good person, or if I can accomplish the most things. But they're all quite desperate and ultimately unsatisfying responses, I think, to the problem of mortality. So there's a whole bunch of different reasons to feel the whole, a whole bunch of reasons to go looking for dopamine in the wrong places. And yeah, I don't know anyone who doesn't have some kind of an addictive experience in their life. And I'm not talking about, when we say, oh, an addiction, that's quite heavy-handed. I'm talking about, who do we know who is completely comfy with the amount and type of food that they eat at all times? Who do we know who's comfy with the amount of time they spend on their phones or on screens? Who do we know who's feels completely uh, free and fluid and sane and hygienic in all of their relationships? We're really addicted to all of these terrible behaviors where we do too much of this or not enough of that. We don't reach out, and I know it would be good for me to reach out to more people, but I'm sort of addicted to this workaholism thing. That's a really common thing that a lot of my dad friends. Um, or I know I should rest more, but I'm really addicted to trying getting this to-do list done. Or I know I should like meditate or do deep relaxation more, but I end up doing other stuff instead that promises it's going to be relaxing, but never quite delivers on that. Um, and in a way, it's a lot like kind of abusive relationships that we have, where the promise is I'll keep you safe if you do this, or I'll give you what you need if you do this, but we never actually get the thing. Um, so yeah, we're all working with addiction in different ways for a whole bunch of different reasons, I think.